AITAH for refusing to go to my dad's for the holidays as long as him and my stepmother expect me to accept her as more? My mom died when I was 5 from mental illness, and I'll leave you to figure out what that means. When I was 7, my dad started dating Diane. My dad and Diane dated until I was 10, and that's when they got married. I never felt that much of a connection with Diane, and even with me being really young, I didn't see her as my new mom. I knew how my mom died, and that didn't change how I felt, and that was I have one mom and one dad, and I don't want another mom or dad. That wasn't really an issue until I was 14 to 15, and then my dad and Diane started getting offended that Diane was still Diane, and I called her my stepmother but never my mom. They brought it up a lot once that shit started. It was always we need to talk and we need to discuss this in a calm way. They would tell me why they felt it wasn't fair for Diane to not be loved and fully appreciated by me. She said after mom did what she did, I should have appreciated someone who raised me with dad and stuck out all the rough parts. She said she had believed deep down I loved her, but that even when something shitty happened to me, which was me losing someone really important to me, I still never turned to Diane, and I still didn't seem to appreciate that she could be dead tomorrow. Diane said she felt as though her death would be tiny for me in comparison to if a teacher I really liked died or if one of my friends died. She said she loved me with all her heart, and in her eyes I was her daughter, but I didn't even see her as a beloved stepmother, let alone the mom she felt like she had earned the title of. My dad would talk about Diane making me a big sister and how their boys wouldn't exist without her. He said that alone should make her someone more beloved to me. And he said I needed a mom. I needed someone else to show me what life with a mom is like. But he said I didn't have the right viewpoint to get that lesson or to feel that kind of support a mom can give. In one conversation they even asked me what I'd do if mom walked through the door. And I was like I'd be so happy and I'd want to live with her. Dad asked me if I'd call her mom and love on her, and I said yeah because I always loved her and she's always going to be my mom. I told him he'd always be my dad too, and nobody would ever be dad number 2 either. It didn't have much of an impact with Dad, and Diane told me that certainty hurt her because she deserved more love and consideration than that. That shit never stopped while I lived at home, so I moved out at the end of May when I graduated. I stayed with my grandparents until the college semester started, and then I moved onto campus. My grandparents and I talked about me going home to them for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but my dad hates it, and he said I need to come back and be with my family. I asked if they'd lay off me about Diane, and Dad said that would still need to be talked about. So I said no to coming home for the holidays, and my dad was like, you can't do that. I said I'm not going back to his house just to fight with them. I said that's not how I want to spend the holidays. Diane called me after Dad and was like, is this your way of saying you still don't feel different? Did being apart from me for months not make you miss me at all? And when I was like my feelings are the same, she cried and ended the call but texted that we have stuff to talk about and I need to be with them for the holidays. But I finalized my plans with my grandparents and I told Dad I won't be going to them for real. AITAH?